Number 6, Benjamin Ayimba, was absent last. We were talking to the coaches, and they say that there could be a few changes, and it looks like Impala have already made some few changes. They are thinking of playing a park game, Mike.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, unlike last week's game, we see that Kenya Harlequins really came out strong on the front row game. But, well, I think most likely this time around they will do the same thing.
And the referee today is a different referee. That's Franco Cheng from Uganda. And Franco Cheng starting off this Enterprise Cup final. Franco Cheng, because you remember last week there was some small controversy because Michael Tankotieno was kind of roughed up by the fans of Kenya Harlequins. So I think they have gone for a neutral referee, and it always happens in the Enterprise Cup final.
Well, we see that definitely this is one of those games where you just can't afford to make mistakes. You can't afford to make cause any penalties. For example, we had Roger Akena last week, who definitely had a very bad day, misbehaving from the word go. If this happens today, he could prove pretty costly to the Harlequin side.
Roger Akena was sent to the sin bin, and that's a quite familiar place for him because turbocharged legs.
Yeah.
But you can see there Felix Ocheng having a word with, not Felix Ocheng is not our picture, on our picture is Franco on our picture was Kibui Bat, but it looks like the referee is not going to have any nonsense because he's already talked to the captain of Kenya Harlequin, and the captain has gone back and talked to his players, and I think he also had a word with the captain of Impala, Benjamin Ayimba, and tell them, guys, I'm not going to have any nonsense, I'm in charge. And it looks like he's already stamping his authority right from the beginning.
So Bart has the ball right there. The former student from Brookhouse School gets the ball. So there we have it. Stephen Obondi has stolen the ball. There they go. Benjamin Ayimba trying to hang out there. Fred Olos gets the ball. Nice dummy. Tries to go for it, but goes down on deck.
Just to give you a brief history of the Enterprise Cup, the Enterprise Cup was introduced in 1928 when a rugby team from the His Majesty's Service Enterprise toured Kenya and Uganda. That was back in 1928. And I don't know whether most of the guys who are playing today know about that history. And then while the ship was on its way back to be recommissioned, the sailors left the Enterprise Cup as a memento.
People, there we do have the first penalty of the day, and Nick Olewe is taking it. Let's see if he's going to use his customary removing of one shoe. He might. Well, I guess this time round he doesn't. One of the boys who'd gone out to try out the Manchester's tryouts in Germany, in Britain, is now back.
That's Nick Olewe. He had gone to Manchester RFC for trials, and when we talked to him last week, he said that he scored a try during the match, and
see the successful,
and that is it.
There it is. Superb this is. This is what we call rugby itself. Easy points right from the word go. You can't afford to try playing hard rugby, big rugby. Make the smallest advantage. Get hold of it and make the first 3 points of the day.
You remember last week we also did not have any tries being scored, and from that time it was the reliable boot of Oscar Osir, and if you can just get a look at the scoreboard, it will tell us 3-0 in favor of Impala with only 3 minutes gone. So it looks like Impala are starting off from where they left last week.
As we were speculating earlier in the game, definitely Quins is going to be playing a back. He's going to be playing the Pax game right there. Brilliant kick there. Rachel gets it, goes down on deck. Is Impala fast enough to get to it? No.
It looks like there is a penalty, and Franco Cheng, the referee from Uganda.
If you do remember, he was the same referee who manned the game last year, the Kenya Cup game.
Yes, he did that, and he's also a regular visitor here during the Tusker Safari Sevens. And it is Impala who have been penalized, and Sami Kakame looked doubtful for the start, but he is already in. Just a small correction, Odwor Gangla is not playing at number 8 for Impala, but we've got Bill Odongo playing at number 8.
Well, once again, the tactic used right here is definitely going to confirm what we're saying, that Harlequins wants to play a forwards game. Sami Kakame goes for the quick line out right at for the touch, so that probably from the line out situation they'll be able to maul right into the try region.
And looking at Sami Kakame, he always have a heavy strapping on his right arm, but then it looks like the strappings are not there today. That's Kibui Bat with the line out.
Oh, superb there, but whoa, what a bad knock-on right there we have.
That was a knock-on, definitely, and the referee is calling for a scrum down. Frank Ocheng, quite a very good referee and quite authoritative referee. I was telling you about the history of the Enterprise Cup and had reached while the ship was on its way to be recommissioned. The sailors left the Enterprise Cup as a memento. The cup was offered for inter-district competitions, and the competition started in 1930. Although introduced for inter-district competition, the rules have been varied, and now it is a straight knockout competition. In 1952, an attempt was made to revive the provincial aspect of the game, but then it looks like that did not work out. We've got a scrum down there.
That's the first scrum down of the day. Ooh, definitely scrappy there by Impala. How dare they? They lose the first scrum down of the day right at your 5 yard, and this could prove pretty costly because they've been known to concede penalties around their own area.
That is Mark Kamatu. That was Sydney Obonyo, number 20. And looks like they've been given a penalty. And
well, I guess opting to go for the quick points.
Definitely Sami Kakame there has got no doubt about what he wants to do. And Kenya Harlequin, they've got a few kickers. They've got Jude Thumbi, who can kick. They've got Sami Kakame, who can also kick, and Sydney Obonyo can also kick.
Yeah.
So those are three good kickers. They've got three good options, and it's better if you have options, because if one, and they've also got Anthony Nduli, that is their fourth kicker, number 11, who is a winger.
Well, I guess today it's Ken Thumbi who's going to be kicking for them.
Jude Thumbi.
Jude Thumbi right there, sorry.
And that is, we are on the 7th minute of the game. The second minute, Olewe put over penalty, and that's the scoreline, Impala 3, and Kenya Harlequin nil. And this looks like a kickable penalty, although last weekend we also saw Jude Thumbi miss a penalty almost from a similar position. But this time it is in.
You definitely expect a tight game right today. It's now the 7th minute and we're already at 3-3.
That is Jude Thumbi, a former player from Lenana. And Jude Thumbi, talking about the Thumbis, there's Fervent Thumbi also plays for Kenya Harlequin. So there's a brotherly connection there in Kenya Harlequin. And just to remind you that we've had the Mwamba Cup final between these two teams, the second teams of that's Impala 2 and Kenya Harlequin 2, and that was 30-27 for Kenya Harlequin 2.
What a punitive kick there by Sami Kakame.
Quite a good place kicker, Sami Kakame, one of the veteran players we have in the team.
In fact, he's captained the national team quite a number of times, right?
He did, and he's also broken quite a few limbs in the process.
Talk at the cost of the love of the game.
That's a stolen ball there from a throw in by Vincent Makanga.
Impala's second line out, and yet they lose it. One wonders if there's something wrong back there. Maybe it is something that they do need to go back to the drawing boards and have a look at.
Talk about superstition. Yesterday we had quite a heavy rain after a very long time. So I'm wondering if you talk about soccer, somebody could have said that. When you go to the western part of Kenya, they've got the rainmaker. So I don't know who was the rainmaker in any of these two teams. But I don't think rugby guys believe in, they don't believe in a lot of superstition. And that's going to be another penalty. That's another penalty for Kenya Harlequin.
Well, this angle looks a little bit questionable, I should say.
With 9 minutes gone.
Let's talk about this game. Most likely, both teams will try getting advantage from the easiest points possible. There's no use of trying to run the ball because when you look at Impala, they have brilliant backs. If Harlequins tries running the game to Impala, definitely there should be some fault there. So why not make the easy points?
Let's have a look at the penalty, and that did not look like a good penalty.
Oh, what a poor kick there.
You know, taking penalties is also an art whereby you got to compose yourself and think about the penalty instead of thinking of the crowd making noise at you. And I think Jude Thumbi for a moment there lost concentration, and that's Benjamin Aimba. No, that's Steve Obondi.
Steve Obondi gets the ball, takes it to Charles Ngovi. Charles Ngovi sends it to Mureithi.
That's Ken Murithi, formerly playing for Black Blood.
Alan Omanga gets the ball, sends it down to the deck. Ooh, and there we go.
Steve Obondi
gets the ball, sends it to Micho Chola. Micho Chola looks around, goes down, definitely offloads it pretty well. Ooh, the problem, I think there's a knock on somewhere.
No, the referee had his, the indication there was he just waved them to play on the ball was free, and it was anybody's ball. And that's Benjamin Aimba making quite an impact on the park of Impala.
Well, we see for Benjamin Aimba, he can play both sides of the game. He's pretty fast for a man of his kg.
Look at that again. That was Benjamin Aimba, that was a dummy.
Passes the ball over there to Micho Chola. Micho Chola dancing his way through, opening his eyes wide. Looks around.
Just look at the way
Watch
Micho
how he
Chola
offloads that ball to Vincent Makanga. Vincent Makanga gets the ball and superb.
And that looked like a foul because Roger Kenna got
went for a high tackle there.
He went for a high tackle.
And that's what I was talking about. There's something a little bit quite questionable about Roger Kenna. And if he keeps playing like this, he might prove pretty punitive to his side.
And the referee gives a penalty there to Impala. And that is the captain.
Definitely opting there for the scrum down. But if you have a look at his eye, you will definitely know the reason as to why he wasn't able to play last week. We see that he has now 24 stitches on his left eye.
He did, but then right now he has got to play because this is the last time we are having a competitive match. After that, we're going to go into the Rugby World Cup qualifier, and we're waiting for Cameroon on 10th of November.
I think there's a player on the offside position there.
That's a turnover.
Yeah.
But Jude Thumbi gets the ball away from there and
from their territory. Things looking pretty thick for them. Well, I see we have two sides here. We have Kenya Harlequins and we have Impala. And both sides are definitely trying to play a game that is
that's Polodera. Yeah. And it looks like there's going to be a penalty.
Yeah. With Polodera.
A penalty.
Sami Kakame going for the penalty and kicking the ball away.
Trying to get touch. That's pen.
And that's a pretty good kick. Takes it all the way to the 22.
That will relieve some pressure of Kenya Harlequin, and they can reorganize themselves. Enterprise Cup is the oldest cup in the Kenya rugby history. Nondis have won it 25 times and shared it once in 1996. Eldoret has won it 7 times, Impala 8 times. Kenya Harlequin have won it 5 times and shared once, that was in 1996 with Nondis. And Nakuru have won it 5 times, Mwamba 2 times. Coast, Kitale, Mombasa, West Kenya, and Kenya Police have won it once. Kenya Police, Utumishi Kowote, won it once.
But notice, once again, Impala loses a lineout. That is the 4th lineout they have, and they have lost it. Well, in all other games they've been playing earlier, they have been winning their lineout. We saw what a brilliant performance they had against Nondis in the semis. But now, probably Steve Obondi is not really in his right form because he also has a rib injury.
You know, they've also got a change of hookers. We had Alvin Rocher hooking last week, and now it is Vincent